Hey everyone, welcome back. So today, we're jumping into something huge. South Africa's incredibly ambitious play to pull in a massive wave of new investment. And let me tell you, this isn't just about a flashy number. It's a high-stakes move to completely reposition the country in a world economy that's changing faster than ever.
All right, let's start with the headline number itself, 2 trillion rand. That's the target South Africa has set to attract a new investment over just the next 5 years. Now, this number is really the heart of their upcoming investment conference, and it's meant to send a very, very loud signal to global markets.
I know what you might be thinking. Oh, here we go, another big round number from another conference. But trust me, this is different. It's the timing of this R2 trillion push that makes it so incredibly important. It's a direct answer to some of the biggest shifts happening in the global economy right now.
So here's the key thing to get. South Africa is changing its entire game plan. They're moving from sort of passively hoping for investment to aggressively competing for it. This R2 trillion goal, it's basically a declaration that they're ready to go head-to-head with any other investment destination in the world for a piece of this massive, shifting pool of global capital. Now, like I said, this strategy is not happening in a vacuum. Nope. This is a carefully calculated move, and it's designed to ride some seriously powerful global currents that are completely changing where money is flowing around the world. So, South Africa is trying to catch 3 massive tailwinds that are going to shape the next decade. First up, you've got the trillions with a T of dollars pouring into the green energy transition. Second, there's this huge strategic shift to regionalize supply chains because companies are desperate for more resilience. And third, there's the enormous worldwide need for modern infrastructure, especially in emerging markets. And this right here, this is the core of their entire pitch. The argument is that the country is in this incredibly unique spot where it can benefit from all 3 of these forces at the exact same time. It's got the sun and wind for the energy transition, a strategic location for new supply chains, and a huge need for infrastructure projects that are now ready for private money. So in this kind of environment that R2 trillion targets, well, it becomes more than just a goal. It's being used as what the people behind it call a capital coordination mechanism. You know, think of it like a tool to get absolutely everyone, government, regulators, private companies, all pulling the rope in the exact same direction to make investing as smooth and easy as possible. And this brings us to what is maybe the single most important change in South Africa's whole strategy. It's a fundamental shift in how they're even talking to global investors in the first place. And this slide just nails the difference. The old way was all about broad promises, right? Talking about reforms that might happen and potential down the road. The new way, it's all about putting concrete, transaction-ready deals on the table. We're talking about de-risked, bankable projects that are ready for cash right now. And, you know, this isn't just talk. They've actually been making policy changes to pave the way for this. Things like opening up the energy market for private companies to generate power on a massive scale, or creating new incentives for manufacturing. These are real changes designed to give investors a clear, predictable path. What all this means is that the country's big investment conference is being totally transformed. It's less of a big marketing event and way more of a deal pipeline platform. It's becoming a marketplace designed specifically to match all that international money with these shovel-ready projects. Okay, so what exactly are these big international investors looking for? What kind of deals are we actually talking about here? For the really big players, I'm talking pension funds, sovereign wealth funds, the giants of the investment world, the holy grail is scalable infrastructure. See, they need to put billions of dollars to work, and they're hunting for assets that can give them steady, predictable returns for a very, very long time. And that's exactly the kind of stuff South Africa has on offer. We're talking about massive projects, like expanding the national power grid to handle more renewables, building out a whole pipeline of new solar and wind farms, and upgrading critical logistics hubs like ports and rail lines. These are precisely the kinds of long-term assets that big institutional money just loves. But of course, promises are one thing. Pledges made at a conference, well, they're nice. But the real question, the one that really matters is, how will we actually know if this new strategy is working? So the thing that's going to matter here isn't the announcements. The true measure of success is going to be something called execution velocity. It's all about speed. How fast can these announced deals actually get the money in the bank? How quickly can the shovels hit the ground and projects become operational? That right there is the real test. So over the next few years, this is the real scorecard we should all be watching. Three simple things. 1. Are major infrastructure projects actually getting funded and built? 2. Is the amount of privately generated electricity growing? And 3. Is investment in manufacturing that's built for export actually picking up? Those are the results that will tell the true story.
And look, if they can hit those metrics, the payoff is just huge. South Africa could truly reposition itself as the #1 hub for industrial investment on the entire continent, especially in these massive future-focused sectors like green hydrogen and battery supply chains. Okay, for the last part, let's just zoom out for a second and look at why this whole thing matters way beyond South Africa's own borders. You see, this strategy is tapping into a much, much bigger story. As huge global companies scramble to make their supply chains more resilient, they are looking at Africa's industrial economies with fresh eyes. So what South Africa is doing is part of a much wider continental push to grab this new wave of global interest.
And this right here is the ultimate message that South Africa wants to send to the world. If they can successfully land this R2 trillion, it proves a powerful idea that investing huge amounts of capital in Africa isn't some niche, high-risk thing anymore. It proves that it's operationally viable and can compete on a global scale.
So, I guess that leaves us with the final, massive question. Will this R2 trillion gambit be the proof of concept the market has been waiting for? Because if they succeed, it could do way more than just transform one country's economy. It could be the catalyst that finally unlocks a whole new era of investment for the entire continent.